You think foreplay begins with your hands, your lips, your body moving against hers. But I tell you this, by the time you touch her skin, you've already succeeded or failed. Most men stumble here because they believe women crave only physical stimulation, when in truth, her deepest arousal begins long before your fingers ever graze her. It begins in the shadows of her mind. It begins with how you carry yourself when you enter a room. It begins with how you speak, with how your eyes meet hers and hold her without trembling. You see, woman is not stirred by friction alone. She is stirred by anticipation, by the storm you create within her thoughts. She wants to feel your restraint, your control, your silence that radiates unshakable confidence. This is the first act of foreplay, though most men will never master it. They rush, they beg, they try to prove themselves through desperate touch, and in doing so they reveal weakness, the very thing that kills her desire before it even awakens. Imagine this. A lion does not announce his power with frantic noise. He announces it with calm stillness. The same must be true for you. When you lean in close, it is not the kiss itself that ignites her, but the pause before your lips meet hers. That pause makes her heart pound, her breath quicken, her mind beg silently for what is about to happen. She must feel that she is not the one choosing, you are. And yet, paradoxically, she will feel as though she has surrendered willingly. But hear me, man, if you fail to understand this truth, you will always be the performer, never the master. You will be the one trying, chasing, hoping, and she will sense it instantly. Women's bodies are sensitive, but their instincts are sharper. They know when a man is desperate, when he is needy, when he seeks validation through their pleasure. That energy destroys attraction. The greatest foreplay is about touching her body. It is about touching her mind in a way that no other man has. It is about creating a tension so thick she feels intoxicated by your presence. A woman's deepest desire is to be consumed, but only by a man strong enough not to be consumed by her. Remember this: foreplay begins long before the bedroom. It begins in how you exist. Most men believe women want endless compliments, soft words, and constant reassurance. But listen carefully. Too much sweetness suffocates her. She does not crave to be worshipped. She craves to be awakened. And awakening does not come from flattery. It comes from polarity. The storm against the calm, the dominance against her surrender, the tension between your control and her desire to lose it. This is why women often grow cold with men who do everything right. He buys flowers, he takes her out, he whispers how much he adores her, and yet she grows restless. Why? Because her body may receive kindness, but her soul starves for intensity. She wants to feel claimed, wanted, overwhelmed in a way she cannot control. That is the true seed of her arousal. Understand this. A woman does not open herself fully to the man who makes her comfortable. She opens to the man who makes her feel alive. Comfort lulls her, but intensity shakes her awake. And foreplay, true foreplay, is about creating that intensity in her veins. The look in your eyes that says, "I could devour you right now, but I choose not to. Not yet." That is more powerful than any touch. Men mistake foreplay as technique. Do this, rub here, kiss there. But technique without energy is empty. 1,000 caresses mean nothing if she does not feel the weight of your presence behind them. And a single touch, delivered with power, can set her entire body ablaze if she feels your intent in it. Do not think of foreplay as a sequence. Think of it as a slow war, a surrender soul. He doesn't even realize she's giving. Your silence when she expects words. Your stillness when she expects movement. Your patience when she wants urgency. These reversals drive her wild because they shift her out of control. And a woman, though she may deny it with her lips, longs to lose control with a man she trusts is stronger than her chaos. You must understand, she is testing you long before you undress her. Every delay, every hesitation, every moment of restraint, it is a trial. And the man who cannot hold himself back, the man who lunges without discipline, will never unlock her deepest passion. The best foreplay is not what you give her, it is what you deny her, until the moment she can't bear it any longer. By now you understand. Foreplay begins in presence, in tension, in the restraint that makes her heart pound. But once your touch arrives, it must be delivered with the same discipline. Most men ruin this moment by being too eager, too mechanical, too focused on chasing reactions instead of commanding them. Remember, her arousal is not a button to press, it is a fire to feed. When your hands touch her, do not rush. Do not treat her body like a puzzle you are desperate to solve. Treat it like sacred ground that only a man of patience and power may walk upon. Every inch of her skin carries memory. Every nerve is a doorway to her mind. Do not fumble through those doors like a thief in the night. Enter like a king, knowing you belong there, but moving with respect and purpose. Here is a truth no one told you. Women respond more to contrast than to consistency. If your touch is always the same, she grows numb. But if your touch is unpredictable, gentle, then firm, slow, then sudden, you awaken her animal instincts. Her body becomes alert, alive, uncertain of what will come next. And uncertainty is the birthplace of excitement. Kiss her, yes, but not as most men do. Do not drown her in lips that never pause. Kiss her once, and stop. Let her feel the emptiness when you pull away. Let her lean forward to close the gap you created. That moment, when she chases your lips, is where her desire grows tenfold. 1,000 sloppy kisses can never equal the power of one kiss she aches to receive. Use your hands not just to touch her, but to command her. Place them on her hips, her neck, her lower back, not always to caress, but to hold. That grip tells her without words, you are mine in this moment. And yet, always balance it with gentleness, so she knows your strength is not violence, but control. That duality, the mix of danger and safety, is what drives her into surrender. And understand this final law. Foreplay that never fails is not about doing more. It is about doing less, but with greater intent. It is about showing her that every pause, every touch, every silence is chosen. When she feels you are deliberate, she trusts you. When she trusts you, she opens. And when she opens, her pleasure has no end. Listen closely, because this is the part most men will never hear from a woman's lips. She will never say it openly, but she craves to be taken into an experience where her mind can finally let go. Her body may resist, her words may tease, but deep inside, she longs for the rare man who understands her secret hunger. The hunger to be led. Every touch, every pause, every command you give during foreplay is not just about her body, it's about her psychology. She wants to feel that you know her better than she knows herself, that you can read the tremor in her breath, the arch of her back, the hesitation in her eyes, and respond with certainty. When you act with certainty, she feels safe enough to surrender. When you hesitate, she feels the weight of your weakness, and she closes herself like a locked door. Here is one of her deepest triggers. Contrast between who you are outside the bedroom and who you become inside it. To the world, you are calm, composed, irrational. But in the intimate space, you reveal the storm, the raw energy that only she gets to witness. This contrast floods her with desire because it makes her feel chosen, special, initiated into a side of you that no one else will ever touch. Another trigger, the denial of instant gratification. Men are slaves to urgency. They rush, they take, they collapse into desire. But the masterful man denies himself as well as her. He pulls back when she wants more. He makes her beg without words. This denial creates obsession because the human mind craves what it cannot have. And when you finally give her what she's been aching for, the release is 10 times more powerful. And yet another truth. She wants to feel your intent, not just in words, but in silence. Your silence is a weapon. When you stop speaking, when you simply look at her with intensity, when you let the air between you grow thick and unbearable, her imagination does the work for you. She will picture what you are about to do. She will feel it before it happens. That anticipation is the purest form of foreplay. Remember this. The best foreplay does not just prepare her body, it enslaves her mind. It makes her addicted to the way you can bend her emotions, pull her into tension, and release her into pleasure at will. That is the hidden art. And it is the difference between being a man she remembers and a man she craves forever. Now we arrive at the final truth. A truth most men will never understand. Foreplay is not simply about preparing her body for pleasure. No, it is about leaving a mark on her soul that lingers long after the night has ended. Any man can make her moan, but few can make her remember, and fewer still can make her need him again. The secret is this: do not let foreplay collapse into chaos. End it with control, with awareness, with presence so sharp it cuts into her memory. Do not think of foreplay as the prelude to intimacy. It is intimacy. And if you master it, the act that follows becomes inevitable, unstoppable, unforgettable. When you finish your foreplay, do not rush into the final act. Instead, leave her on the edge. Make her feel that you could take her fully at any moment, but you choose to hold her there just a breath longer. This is the moment when she is completely vulnerable, when her body is trembling with desire, her mind surrendering, her heart begging silently. If you can command yourself here, if you can hold back even when every instinct tells you to lose control, you elevate yourself above every man she has ever known. Here is the ultimate law. Women do not bond through pleasure alone. They bond through the man who controls their pleasure. If you can take her to the peak and then slow her down, if you can show her that you are the master of both her body and your own restraint, you become unforgettable. Pleasure fades. Orgasms are temporary. But the memory of a man who owned the entire experience, that remains carved into her psyche. And when it is finally time to give her release, do it not as a man begging for his own satisfaction, but as a man granting her what she has earned through surrender. Make her feel that her pleasure is not an accident, it is a gift only you could deliver. That is what bonds her. That is what makes her crave you when you are gone. So remember this, man. The best foreplay never fails because it is not about tricks, techniques, or endless motions. It is about mastery. Over her, yes, but more importantly, over yourself. A woman can find many men to touch her body, but only once in her life will she find a man who can touch her soul through restraint, tension, and presence. Be that man, and she will never forget you.